5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, please make some noise for
David Wright.
David Wright. David.
Very good afternoon and welcome to The Right Way with me, David Wright, this Thursday afternoon here on Almeria Gold 95.5 FM. Loads coming up on the show today. Got some tips and advice on living and working in Spain as usual, and some great facts that will help you protect yourself against mosquito bites this summer. That's all coming up on the show a little bit later on. Also some Spanish cities that have already started making some restrictions for tourists here. Is this good news or is it bad news? That's coming up on the show later on. And if you're into buying olive oil, like I'm sure most of you are here in Spain, there's some good news for you coming up on the show as well after this.
David Wright. Help and advice for living and working in Spain. You're listening to The Right Way. The Right Way with David Wright.
The comment section is open. Chat live to the DJ right now via our website.
And here he is, the legendary David Wright.
Yes, so the comment section has rebooted, so come and say hi, come and keep me company for the next 2 hours here on Almeria Gold 95.5 FM. And a big hi to Andy in the comment section. Hi Andy, thanks for joining us. Funny enough, mate, I've just deleted your song that I had lined up for you last week that I was going to play for you, but I can't find it. I'll try and dig it out a bit later on. And yeah, I think you've probably seen the weather forecast here. It's not looking too good here at the moment. It's a bit overcast and grey and cloudy here in Almeria today. It's supposed to be getting some warmer weather coming in over the weekend. It's very slow growing up the temperatures, though, isn't it? I don't know what it's like where you are, but not as hot as it should be here in Spain. Let us know what you think in the comment section. A bit of Robert Palmer now.
live.
David Wright.
David Wright. David.
The Afternoon Show.
A very good afternoon to Carol joining us in the comment section from Brighton and Hove there. Hi Carol, and you've got some sunny weather there at the moment, a bit more than you've got here at the moment. It's a bit overcast and cloudy here today, still very warm, very muggy here and humid. Yeah, last night was the first night to put the air conditioning on. It was pretty warm last night, but to be honest, it's not been as warm as it should be here in this part of Spain. Been 22 and a half years now here in Spain, and the last couple of years it hasn't been that hot, to be honest. I can remember when I first came here, we had several days with it going over 40 odd degrees. Specifically the first year I was here 22 and a half years ago, it was 44, 45 degrees for about a week. It was really unbearable. That was a long time ago, and we haven't had temperatures like that for some time. Last year it did top 40 a couple of days, but that was all really. And this year at the moment I don't think we've reached 30 degrees here in Almeria at the moment. Pretty close to it, 29 today, but still not as hot as it could be. They say the hot weather's on its way, so we'll see what happens. At least the pool's up and running now, nice and warm, the pool, the water here. And yeah, come and join us in the comment section. Let's know what you're doing. I've got some great tips for you coming up a bit later on in the show. Also a great tip about mosquitoes, how to keep them dreaded mosquitoes away. Let's try and bring the summer back with this one. Wow, that one reminds me of summer years ago when I first started work at 17. I worked in a cabinet making factory. We had no windows. It was a big factory, industrial factory, and went to work at 7:30 in the morning, left at 5:30 evening. So in the winter times, we didn't see the daylight until the weekends. It was unbelievable. But a great crowd of guys, and we all had Radio 1 on the radios on our benches as we were working away, and that one always reminds me of the summer. That was Greece soundtrack there, and Summer Nights. Okay, so I don't know if you've been watching the Spanish news on the TV here. There's a lot going on about these cities imposing tourist restrictions now. Have you probably seen across the news, there's a lot of restrictions that are in the pipeline, but Malaga is one of the first cities to start implementing these tourist restrictions. These are on rental properties, mostly Airbnb properties, renting them out to the public, to the tourists. They want it for residents. Now, The rents have increased by 200% in some places, and so the local residents are fed up with this. They've not been able to rent in the area, and now I don't think this is a good thing really, but they're putting big restrictions on Airbnbs, renting them out for tourists. So Malaga is the first to start this. Seville and Madrid have also started. They got on the bandwagon of this as well, and they're making restrictions for tourists renting Airbnb. They're going to make the licenses harder to get hold of for the Airbnb people, and so there'll be less tourists properties available for rent in these major cities. Now, Spain has also pledged, Barcelona has also pledged to remove all tourist licenses for Airbnb by 2028. That's a bold move by Barcelona. The government up there have decided that they've had enough of all the tourists coming to these places and flooding the market, so they're going to ban tourist licenses for Airbnbs completely by 2028. Now, this is a rather knee-jerk effect, I think, and it could bite them in the because the tourists bring in the money. They are the ones that spend the money when they're on holiday here or visiting the areas, and that puts money in local businesses and in their pockets. The local people living in these areas don't spend as much as the tourists do, in my opinion, so maybe this is going to backfire. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Is it a good idea to put restrictions on tourists? David Bisbell there. I haven't played that one before. Quite a good one, that one. And born and bred right here in Almeria. I'll be back right after this.
95.5
Live.
David Wright.
David Wright. David.
The Afternoon Show.
Okay, so talking about the restrictions that some local cities are trying to bring in or have already brought in for tourists. Not a good idea, I think. Could be end up shooting themselves in the foot. But anyway, we'll see how that goes. Now, also, I was talking to somebody the other day here about setting up a business here, running a bar in Spain, and they've got pretty much everything all sorted out, lined up. But I was talking to them about a pavement tax here. Now, this is something that most bars and restaurants in Spain, if they've got an outside space in front of their building premises, they do pavement service with tables and chairs, then they have to pay a local council tax. This is called a terrace tax, and it can be quite expensive. Well, in Torremolinos, they're one of the first cities that is going to be increasing this across the board for all bars and restaurants, paying over €300 a year increase on the taxes that they already pay. Now, a lot of bars are making a big fuss about this already and saying that they can't afford it, that it's not a good thing, it's going to drive people away, close bars up and things like that. But maybe they're getting a bit greedy. Now, there is a famous bar, I won't say the name, in Roquetas de Mar that I've done a lot of work for years ago, and they got right on the seafront, on the walkway there in the main strip on Roquetas de Mar beach, and we were renovating the bar, and he's got about 15-20 tables out at the front. Very popular place for drinks during the day, snacks and food, and in the evenings they have cocktails and things like that. So always busy, made a great living there. And one day the council just said that they wanted to halve the amount of tables and chairs they put in front, because people were saying there's too many people sitting around there, and they weren't going to reduce the amount of pavement tax, and it all crippled the business. They took a massive loss with not being able to have as many people there. People that couldn't get a table went to bars next door, and eventually after about a year the bar closed completely. So there's a lot of restrictions on running bars here, and a pavement tax is just another big expense that they're going to have to put up with. And if this goes ahead, then other places will follow suit. This is a way of the council taking more money out of the people that are trying to run a business here. Again, another bad idea, I think, but there you go, that's Spain for you. So I was talking about Malaga earlier, about the restrictions they're putting on tourists, and Malaga is the first city to open up. It's the first place in Spain to open up a public pet cemetery. The new cemetery is open now in Malaga, and it offers a final resting place for your family pets. And on offer is cremations and traditional burial services and urns for your pets, as long as you haven't got an elephant, I suppose. And that's opened up in Malaga, and I'm not sure the prices on that, but it's I had a look on a TV program the other day about it, and it's huge. And this is the first place in Spain where they've got a public pet.
The Afternoon Show.
Yeah, so Carol in the comment section says about the in Thailand where it's cheap there, the same sort of problems they got with people renting, tourists renting, the locals can't get a foot in the door there. But yeah, I was looking online actually because some of my friends have just come back from Thailand and it is really cheap over there at the moment. Depends where you go, obviously, but I was looking at some islands, and in Koh Samui, the island there, you can rent a 2-bedroom apartment on the beach for €800 a month. €800 a month. Unbelievable. And you can eat out there. There's a guy that's living there who's doing some videos about it, and you can eat out daily for about €12 a day. That's 3 meals, €12 a day. So yeah, no wonder people are flocking there and taking up the local places. Same sort of things happening here in Spain, but yeah, I mean, rents have gone up everywhere. It's something that happens all over the year anyway, but all these major tourist attractions and cities are always busy. I can remember a long time ago going up to Barcelona and down to Malaga, it's extremely expensive there. It's always been expensive there, but you know, then that does attract the more affluent people there, which bring in more money to the area. And I mean, Malaga has changed a lot in the last few years. Same with Barcelona. Years and years ago, Barcelona wasn't anything like what it is today, and that's all due to the tourist money that's flooding in there. It looks like they want to put a stop to that though, so that's going to be maybe shooting themselves in the foot. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Okay, so mosquitoes. Have you been affected by the mosquitoes this year? Well, I've got a great tip for you and some interesting facts on mosquitoes coming up after this.
5.5.
David Wright. Help and advice for living and working in Spain. You're listening to The Right Way. The Right Way with David Wright.
And a big thank you to the sponsors of my show today. That's Indalu Transport and Storage. Their details in the comments section now. Ask to speak to Paul and he'll give you a free quote. If you're moving to Spain or locally here in Spain or anywhere, go and speak to Paul and he'll give you a quote. Okay, so mosquitoes. Have you ever been affected by mosquitoes? I'm sure you have. Sure you've been bitten in the past. Well, there's some new scientific studies out on mosquitoes this month, and they say that they found out that they are attracted to people's odours, sweat and perfume that they wear. Also, the clothes as well affects how you attract mosquitoes. They're saying that light coloured clothing does attract mosquitoes, so make sure you wear darker clothing. And also, soaps and shampoos can help up to 50% faster repellent than normal repellents. So yeah, normal soaps and shampoos. They're saying that even basic shampoos and soaps have got a smell in them, the chemicals in them that repel mosquitoes. So yeah, that's a great bit of advice for you. Now, years ago I went to Mexico on a trip, and we had 6 weeks over there, and I did do a week touring around the jungle areas. We were really in the jungle over there, and we took these patches for mosquitoes because we were told that they're pretty bad over there. We did have the malaria tablets and everything else you can think of, but we bought these patches in Mercadona here in Spain. We were told about these patches. All they are is little, very, very tiny, size of your fingernail. You peel off these patches and stick them on your clothes or on your skin, and they're transparent. They're completely transparent. You can hardly see you've got them on your body at all, and they just give off this like citronella type of smell, and they push away the mosquitoes. Now, we bought these because we had been using them here in Spain, found them to be very good, and we took a box of these patches with us. Now, when we went on this tour, we went on a couple of days walking through, actually trekking through the jungles, and we were on a tour with a guide, a Mexican guide, and about 6 or 7 American people, and everybody was bitten alive by these mosquitoes except my wife and I. It got to the state where the guide, the Mexican guy, came over to us and said, "Why are they not biting you?" And we showed them these patches, and we gave them some of these patches. But some of the girls on the trip with us, they had the size of golf balls come up on their skin, these bites from these giant mosquitoes there. But my wife and I didn't have one single bite from these patches. So if you're interested in getting hold of these patches, I'm not sure exactly what they're called, but you go to Mercadona, they just peel off patches. And to be honest with you, I've got a couple. I stick a little little patch on the headboard of my bed, and that keeps them away at night. We've had no trouble at all with mosquitoes. Obviously, the fly screens here do a great job as well, and ceiling fans. If you've got a ceiling fan up, that normally they don't like the draft from the ceiling fans. But yeah, these patches are great. So remember, soaps, shampoos, and stay away from light coloured clothing if you don't want to get bitten by mosquitoes.
Live.
David Wright.
David Wright. David.
The Afternoon Show.
So I've been busy practicing motorbike for the motorbike exam. I've got my motorbike exam sorted out for next Thursday morning. I'm the first one on the list. That's not a good idea really, but there you go. It's pre-booked now for Thursday morning, 8 o'clock. I'll be taking the slalom test for the motorbike and emergency procedures. So that's the second part. The theory was done a couple of weeks ago. I passed the theory, third time luckily. Passed the theory. So now the slalom test, it's a three-parter. You've got to do a manoeuvrability test with the motorbike. There's a fast slalom course you have to do in under 25 seconds and around some cones, and then there's a slow slalom test you have to do as well. This is all on a bigger motorbike. It's on a 400cc motorbike, and I've been practicing that at the college, at a school I go to here. I've enrolled in a school here, a motorbike school near where I am, and if that all goes well, then I'll be taking the driving test out on the street, and that's where they get a car to follow you on a motorbike, giving you directions around the streets. And if that all goes well, then I should be getting my bigger motorbike license and hopefully buying a bigger motorbike later on this year. So yeah, it's not easy here in Spain. There's some very, very strict rules, and this summer they're going to be even stricter. It's not just for cars, it's also for motorbikes as well. So motorbikes and cars, the rules are going to be changing here in Spain. There's already some new theory parts to the exam that have been introduced this last few months or so. I was going through that when I took my motorbike theory test. Now remember, you can't take the theory test in Spain in English. It has to be done in Spanish. And the problem with that is you have to study all the books. They're only in, the literature for them is only in Spanish, and the questions are all in Spanish, and the schools are in Spanish as well. But there is some good news, a possible light at the end of the tunnel. I was talking to my instructor the other day, and they're saying that there are some schools now that are introducing some of the questions and the test papers are in English, or will be in English later this year. The exam itself is still only in Spanish, but that's also possibly changing at the end of this year or in the new year. But really, you need to be able to speak basic Spanish at least to get enrolled in the colleges here, the schools, the driving schools, because there is a certain amount of lessons that you do need to take. You can't just go out and apply for the test. That wouldn't be a very good idea at all. It is quite demanding, very, very strict. Spain's got one of the strictest rules on motorbike tests and exams now, and there is a very high level to the pass rate. For the theory exam, you're only allowed to get 2 questions wrong in the exam, and there is a pool of 800 questions which they take. A computer takes 20 questions from, so it's no good just memorising 20 odd questions. You do have to know the answers to at least 850 of these questions, and it's quite intense as well, the test under exam conditions. Very, very strict, with a security guard walking around behind you in a test centre in the city near where you are. So yeah, so it's 3 parts to the test. Now, at the moment, you can drive a 125cc motorbike on a car driving licence without any experience at all. As long as you've got a car driving licence for more than 3 years, you can, here in Spain, go out and buy yourself a big motorbike up to 125cc. Now, it might not sound very big, but it can be quite a powerful bike. The bike I've got at the moment is a very heavy bike. It's quite a big bike, although it's not highly powered. It's only a 125cc. It does look like and feel like a Harley Davidson. It's not Harley Davidson money, I can assure you, but there you go. And you don't need to have a driving licence other than a car licence to drive that motorbike. You can drive it on the motorways, and you can take passengers on the back without any L plates at all. Rather crazy, but that rule will be changing later on this year, and as from next year you will have to take a basic motorbike test to even buy a 50cc scooter here. Some rules are being brought in now, but all these rules for motorbike motorbikes are getting much stricter in the new year. Also, there is talk, and it's not just talk, it's going to be bringing in full face crash helmets will be compulsory here in Spain, as some of the EU countries have already started doing. But as I was talking to my instructor, he said that even if they bring that rule out this year, which looks like not being a possibility at the moment, but when this rule comes out, you will have a grace period of around 6 months before you comply to buying a full face crash helmet. And remember, it is compulsory at the moment to wear gloves for motorbike riders and passengers. So yeah, there's lots of rules and regulations coming into Spain for motorbikes. Maybe it's a good thing. So do you use olive oil here in Spain? I'm sure you do. It's the extra virgin olive oil is great. I love it, and many Spanish people use it all the time here. The prices have gone through the roof, and I'll be telling you about that in a minute. Crazy from Patsy Cline there. Okay, so yeah, Spain is about to remove the tax on olive oil here in Spain. Now, in the last 4 years, there's been a 270% increase in the price of virgin olive oil here in Spain. At the moment, it's around just under 10 euros a litre. 10 euros a litre for olive oil here in Spain. Absolutely crazy prices. Everyone's talking about it here. And well, as from the 1st of July, the Spanish government are going to take away the tax on supermarkets and high street stores, and it will be about 50 cents a litre cheaper of olive oil here. So yeah, some people are saying it's because of the drought we've had, but it's really only been in the last couple of years. Many of the farmlands are changing to other products they're growing, and the olive oils are on the decline here in Spain. But yeah, prices almost 10 euros a litre. That is crazy price for olive oil. And there are some alternatives here, but the food just doesn't taste the same. Honestly, we have tried different alternatives, but if you get a good Spanish virgin olive oil, it really makes a big difference. So yeah, hopefully this will help with some people's prices on the oil. Around 50 cents a litre off if this tax comes in. Well, it's supposed to be coming in on the 1st of July to help out. So we'll see where that goes. Golden brown. And Wine Time Friday is back tomorrow on my other station over here on Almeria, sister station, Almeria Radio 107.5 FM tomorrow. So Wine Time Friday, Amy's been away on her honeymoon. She'll be back tomorrow. She'll be live on the show tomorrow, giving us some great tips on wine. So make sure you're listening to that. That's on The Right Way with me, David Wright, on Almeria Radio tomorrow, 107.5 FM. That's 4 o'clock tomorrow over on our sister station. Don't miss it.
Our website.
And here he is, the legendary David Wright.
You're listening to The Right Way with me, David Wright, here on Almeria Gold 95.5 FM. Warm and very, very humid today here in Almeria. 29 degrees we got here today, and not quite breaking that 30 mark just yet. It should well be into the 30s by now, but it's a little bit slow coming, and a bit overcast and grey here today, but very, very muggy indeed. And let us know what the temperature's like where you are. The forecast for the next few days or so into next week is still rising. It's going to be warm, obviously. People are saying extreme temperatures on the way, but yeah, it's always very hot here in Spain at this time of year, isn't it? And 40 degrees we didn't have. I think it was almost 40 degrees one day last year, which was the first time in a long time we haven't topped 40 degrees here, but I'm sure this summer it will be topping 40 degrees. Now, 4 or 5 years ago, I think it was, well, before COVID now, we were up in Cordoba for the evening up there in July, and trust me, it gets very, very hot in Cordoba. And even so, when you were walking out on the streets, the heat reflecting off of the walls of the building there was almost unbelievable. And the floors there, the cobblestone floors around the town in Cordoba, it actually melts your trainers there. So yeah, very, very hot in Cordoba in July and August, as it is also in Seville. I've been in Seville in July, and it gets very, very hot up there as well. As you can imagine, inland Spain topping the temperatures this summer again for sure. Down here in Almeria along the coast, we're a little bit cooler, we're close to the beach, so we do get that sea breeze. But let me know what you think in the comment section. Is it as hot as it was last year? I don't think so. What do you think? Bruce Springsteen there, and Born in the USA. Now, this time of the year, July onwards, it's a time when a lot of British people, all people are moving to Spain, and something to be aware of is the double tax when you sell your property in the UK. Coming to Spain, most people come here in the second half of the year to avoid paying the double tax here in Spain. If you want to know more details about that, all you need to do is go over to the information page. I've got loads of videos there with top tax experts, and we also have an expert in the comments section. This is US taxes in Spain.com. They have departments here in Spain for British people and American people, helping them with free consultations on their taxes. If you want to know more information about that, you can go and have a look at their details in the comments section now. They are a sponsor of my show. Also, I have some videos with these people, with Caesar himself, and also the Honorary British Consulate of Almeria, Alejandro. He's got a tax and consultancy business here in Almeria. He gives people advice as well. So make sure you get help from a professional. Go over to my page, that's The Right Way with me, David Wright, or davidwrightonline.com, and click on the information page.
You're listening.
T-Rex there, and Get It On. Okay, so there's loads going on here now this time of the year in Spain. There's lots of fiestas starting up over the next few days or so. The kids soon break up for their holidays, so there'll be loads more bars will be full up around where we are here. And there was a new bar open up a little while ago down the road from where I live along the seafront here, and it's a new tapas bar, and you know I love my tapas, so I had to go and try it out. Bit expensive, I must say. The prices have gone up quite a bit since the last time I visited that sort of area, or the tapas row as I call it. And great tapas. They've got some great tapas on the menu, but a lot of the tapas now, they're charging for the tapas. Now, there are still some free tapas on the menu where you order a glass of beer or a wine and you get a free tapa included in the price of that beer or wine. The prices of the beer and wine have gone up. It's almost €3. Some of the bars are €3 a beer now. That does include a plate of free food that you can order off of the menu, included in the price, so not too bad. But they do some fantastic tapas. These are in-house tapas, but they are charging around €1 or $1.50 per tapa as well, extra. Now, a lot of the bars in Almeria along the coast here, if it's a proper tapas bar, then you can still get your tapas and the beers. Some of the places we go to, it's it used to be $1.80, $1.90. It's now $2.20 a beer. Still not too bad with a small plate of food included. Now, there are tapas for free, or as I say, included in the price of the alcoholic drink all over Spain. But a lot of the places you don't get to order off the menu like you do here in Almeria. I was up in Pamplona a few years ago, and some amazing tapas up there. They call them pinchos up there in Pamplona, but the drinks are around $2.50 a drink, and the tapas are $2.50 extra. So that's a bit different way of doing it up there, but the tapas are pretty good. You can have 2 or 3 tapas and that's a meal full. Trust me, you won't need more than that. In Madrid as well, great tapas up there. Still got the local small bars that are doing the cañas. That's the small beers. Just ask for a caña and you normally get a tapa. And most of the tapas in Madrid will be what they give. You know, you just get what they give you. Sometimes it's just some olives and things like that, or a bit of local meat or cheese. But here in Almeria, still you can find some great tapas bars where you get a choice off of a menu, and that will be included in the price. Now, a little bit further inland, just about 40 minutes up the road where my wife's village is, you can go there, and the beer up there is about $1.60, $1.80 a beer, and you get a really good tapa up there. Now, a little while ago we was up there and we had a hamburger and a few chips. Now, this is a decent sized hamburger. It's not a full size hamburger. It's a decent sized hamburger with lettuce and cheese and some chips as well. And the price of the beer is €2, and you get all of that food included in the price as well for €2. So not bad at all. That's a place called Fiñana, just up on the Granada Road. If you're up there, go and check it out. The village square there is amazing. What else is going on around here? Ryan Paris there and Dolce Vita. And tonight, Thursday night, is training night. So every Thursday night I have live online training where I'm learning this course, how to teach English to the Spanish. Been doing it since around November now, and got 7 students teaching, and it's bringing me in almost €500 a month now for just speaking English to the Spanish. And if you want to learn how to do this, then there's loads of information, and also there's a discount code now where you can get in on this. It's a linguistics professor. He's from Spain. He's a top qualified linguistics teacher, and we join the online training every Thursday night at 7 o'clock. And it's just no reading, no writing, it's just conversational Spanish. Teaches you how this fantastic system works. I'm loving it. I've been learning new stuff every week and passing it on to my students. Been teaching for quite some time now. Two of the other people that joined the group have also started teaching. They've got students as well. So if you want to learn how to do this, you can do it part-time or full-time. There's a discount code, so you can come and join us and get in on this for a discounted price. Over to my page, that's davidwrightonline.com, and click the information page. So the weather is pretty good here at the moment. A bit overcast today, a bit cloudy, but it's still very warm, very muggy, and the pool temperature is a nice, lovely, comfortable temperature at the moment. Could be a little bit warmer, I guess, but yeah, it's comfortable for a swim. And I did a post today on my Facebook group about the costs of running a swimming pool here in Spain. Not as expensive as you might think, and a lot of people have their pool pump on way too many hours. It's not necessary. I've been talking to my neighbours, and one of my neighbours has had several swimming pools in properties over the years, and he has his pump on for 4 hours a night. That's all. He doesn't have it on in the daytime. Occasionally at the weekends, if he uses the pool, a lot of people in the pool, and put it on for an hour or so at the daytime as well. But I've changed that. I've got a timer on my pool pump, and we have it on for 4 hours every night, and that is more than enough. It keeps the pool nice and clean. I must say that I've just bought a little while ago one of these pool robots as well, and I chuck that in the pool every other day, and it does a great job of cleaning the floor, and it walks up the walls and cleans the walls. It takes about an hour, but it does let me get on with other things around the house, so I don't have to worry about cleaning the pool. So yeah, I've got some costs on chemicals and things like that, and electric charges, what it does cost. And also I built my own pool here a few years ago when I built the house, so I got some prices on what it costs to build an in-ground pool here in Spain. If you're interested in that, go and check it out over on my Facebook group, and you can find out all about that over on davidwrightonline.com and the information page. Well, that's it for another show. Thanks very much everybody for joining me. Hope to see you over on the sister station tomorrow, and have a great day.